All right, so I got to tell you. So I always, every time I see you, I go back to the beginning with you. It was New York City.
Okay.
There's this comedy club that's like a bus, or it used to be. This is like 20 years ago.
Oh, a
It's
long
and
yeah, like a
narrow.
train.
Yeah,
like,
you're
yeah.
sitting in it,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're on
Wow,
a
really?
bus.
Yeah, that ain't even open.
It's not around.
I mean, the club is open, but that room is a coffee shop now.
Ah, okay, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was New York Comedy
New
Club,
York Comedy
the
Club.
side room.
Yeah.
Or the black room.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah.
Nah, so I was in major market morning radio, and I left that and said I'm going to do comedy, right? So I go to New York.
Okay.
After I quit and rolled out, went to New York, and the first show I saw, you were there. It was you, Eric Rivera.
Wow.
And I was like, I feel like we on a bus. It was so
Yeah.
small and narrow, and in my head, I said, why the fuck is the bouncer on stage, right? And
That's my joke.
And so to hear you,
Say
that's how you open.
Yeah.
So you know everybody is thinking it at all times.
Yeah, they get it. They get it. And what's crazy is you've never told me this story.
Yeah.
You never told me how.
Yeah.
Because we met at other circumstances.
Yeah, but that
and
was
whatnot.
the first time.
Yeah, man.
You had the bones and the.
I probably had a tank top on too. I probably
a
wife
tank top
beater
and a biker jacket.
and maybe I had a bandana. Or no.
Nah, it was no bandana.
Maybe sometimes
Yeah,
I used to wear a bandana. So
yeah, you had the big the spike, the skull.
yeah,
the
rings.
Triceratops
Yeah,
rings,
yeah,
and the dinosaur
yeah.
bones and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But you know, when on first sight, you do not present comedy
No, and I was worried about that.
in the beginning.
So I'll tell you this. I always wanted to be a stand-up comic. Like even as a kid, I'm aging myself, but Johnny Carson, they would always have the stand-up dude, right? And you know Johnny Carson came on late after my bedtime, right? So I used to sneak up. I grew up. My dad bought a brownstone for $11,000 in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. And that was the house my family lived in. So I used to sneak upstairs and look through my mom and dad's bedroom, cracking the door to watch Johnny Carson. And I used to watch all the comics, and I always wanted to be a comic. But I was like, I just never got around to it, but I just was always a fan. And then I went to college. I pledged Q. I no offense, and
My son,
and then I was in college, and I was helping put this girl through school, and we needed some dough, and they were like, "Yo." I was like, I could probably do this mail review thing.
Now wait a minute. When you say help put this girl through school, what does that even mean?
So she was my girlfriend. We lived together.
Okay.
And I ended up, you know, like working and helping her.
Oh, really putting her through school?
Yeah. Like, I mean, we lived together.
Got
We
it,
together.
got
We
it.
had thought we was going to get married. And, we, like I helped, not help, you know, whatever she needed, I just had her back. Like she worked, but she didn't have to work, and I ended up. And long story short, I pledged Q, and they were doing a Toys for Tots thing, and they wanted each mail review, each a Divine Nine, or you know the mail to put
somebody in the joint,
right, to put it in, and they were going to do like a Toys for Tots thing, and there was a dude they asked, he backed out, right. And there was a Kappa and a Sigma. Both of them dropped out. The Alpha stayed in, and the Q dropped out. And then they asked me, and I was like, "Yo, I was kind of a wild dude."
Yeah.
And they was like, "You go do it." And so I did it. My name was the Meat Packer, right?
Meat Packer.
I have got a big bologna. Like a huge sliced bologna, and I came out with a paper hat and a thing and whatever, did the show, and then I didn't really mess with it at all. Then I went to school. I was going to school. I went in for school, but for pre-med, and
Wait a minute, let's stay there.
Okay.
The Meat Packer.
Yeah.
What how did you land?
I was just looking for something, and I think here's what I think it was. You know how you broke in college?
Yes.
I was at some party and they had this big bologna, like, you know, the big joint, like,
yeah, that nobody's touching.
Yeah, and I snatched it because
nobody's.
I'm
gonna do something with it.
Not only that, but fried bologna's kind of hot. Stop playing when you smash it. You know what I'm saying? You eating boiled eggs
you
and
gotta vent it. Put the vent in there.
You gotta wait and pop up and then flip it properly, smash it. I'm thinking of Black Dynamite. You smash anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
And I had this bologna, and it was huge, right?
Yes.
And then I got this thing. I was like, I'll just be the meat packer. I'm just like a butcher. And
not the butcher. Why not the butcher? I feel like the butcher.
The butcher don't pack meat like the meat packer.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
It's the connection.
So so I did the show, and then I was like, I probably
competition. Did you win?
I think I was like a benefit or something like that or whatever. You know, in college you doing everything.
Yeah.
And I forgot, and then I spoke to my girl at I could probably do bachelorette parties and make some, and she was like, bet, fine. And then I never thought of it. I actually had business cards made and everything and never did nothing with it, right? And then I worked with emotionally disturbed kids, and I changed my major from pre-med in psychology to psychology. And I was worked in a few different emotionally disturbed, special needs kids and stuff like that. And that was kind of a job that you could get out there, like CAT skills and the United Way and stuff like that. So fast forward, I get into that business, which I really shouldn't have gotten into because
dancing.
No, the child care.
Oh, with the kids. Oh, okay.
And I got attached to this one kid that didn't have nobody, but he was like a big kid. I was a big dude, and I got him into weightlifting. But what happened was the counselors were scared of him, so they kept writing him up to get him because if the file is big enough, they ship you to a sanitarium, and that's what they were trying to do. And then the kids knew they were messing with him, so they would pick on him, and as he got, more physically into weightlifting and stuff, he calmed down, but they saw it as a threat, and the kid got shipped. And I used to bring him home with me for holidays, Christmas, and because he didn't have nobody, and then they put him in the system, and they put him get what they call a Ritalin shuffle. They put him on meds, and I lost track of him, and I got depressed, dropped out of school.
Wow, because you was connected.
Yeah, it was my little man.
You took that personal.
Yeah. And my understanding of I was like, I'm going to be a director of a foster kid. I'm going to help kids.
Yeah.
And the system, it
crushed you.
And I was like 18, so you figure, this is what it is, and it ain't that at all.
Yeah.
So I left school. I stayed up there and worked for a while. I left school, came home, and I just laid on my mom's couch for like 6 months. I was just trying to find this kid, couldn't find this kid, still haven't found this kid. And I had a friend of mine who I grew up with, who I knew he was stripping. He was already doing it, and I couldn't get him on my feet, and I went finally was like got a haircut, and I'm sitting in the barber chair. He walks by,
same dude.
The same dude.
Oh.
He lived in my neighborhood. He got his tank. He got a spaghetti string. It's the '80s. He got bike shorts on. So I like, yo, hold up. And I talked to him, and I go, yo, you still? Yeah. He was like, oh, word, yo, come down to this kid at this club called Pinky's in the Wall Street area. And I was like, yo, I want to come down and see. He was like, I want to come watch. And he was like, you could dance tonight. Because, it was just him and a couple of his friends.
Wait a minute.
And they needed a dude.
Wait a minute. So this is the guy that you have been looking for.
I grew up with him.
Oh, okay.
He lived around the corner from me. We used to play touch football against him.
Got it. Yeah.
And he was like, you come down tonight? And I was like, now, let me just watch first.
Yeah.
So I went down and I watched. I met him, and he was like, and I just watched the girls were like, he was like, oh, this is my baby cousin. He probably going,
finesse
play.
In there. Yeah.
He was like, he gonna be there. And they were like, yeah, anyway. His name was Reggie the bodyguard. He goes, yeah, anyway, what? And I was like, oh, word, nobody like
just
that.
brushed you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I tried the meat packer thing, and then I had a couple of other things I tried, and I used to fence because I went to college.
God damn it.
Right. So I went to college on a half scholarship. I went to SUNY New Paltz.
Okay. Upstate.
Right. But I was fencing. So
how did you get into fencing?
All right. So this is gonna be 5 episodes when we get to this, right? Yeah. So my dad worked youth work. Since probably like 1935. He did tournaments and basketball tournaments. He actually, his name Reginald Nero. He has a street and a park named after him. He, if you Google this, he was the first dude to do black basketball women on donkeys. They played on donkeys, right?
Okay.
This is like
it's like a circus almost, like a traveling.
Like it was in Harlem, though.
So they the basketball.
Black basketball
girls
women on donkeys. Right. And then my pops also went to World War II. He went stormed the Normandy and stuff like that. And he organized Joe Louis exhibition during World War II. And he's just a live dude.
So you've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like I couldn't go to ice cream without him stopping and talking to 20. He was just live. And he knew a guy who was supposed to go, Cottrell, his name was Cottrell Jones. He was supposed to go to the Olympics. First black dude going to the Olympics in fencing. Was running on Coney Island Beach, popped his Achilles heel, bop, no Olympics. So he took a job with the Parks Department. You know, good government job, Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, I know that. Yes.
Yeah. And then
yes.
And he taught inner city kids how to fence. So one day my pop comes, he goes, "You want to fence?" I was like, "Sword fight?" Yeah. I was watching, you know, Errol Flynn.
Buckling and
like
Zorro. Yeah.
So I went and did it, and I go there, and he goes, I'm like, "Okay, we going to sword fight." And he puts me in the on guard position. And he, for 6 months, all I did was advance, retreat, that's all I did, footwork, which is really important. I'll tell you what, because I always remember how I learned, because he did 6 months of that, and then he finally put a weapon in my hand. I didn't have a weapon in my hand for 6 months.
You just informed.
Just walking, and just working. Puts a weapon in my hand, stands me in front of a wall with a bullseye, and he just recover. That was 2 months of that.
Right.
And I'm like, when am I gonna? Then he worked parry, couldn't move, but he did it part to whole.
Shit, you giving language and everything.
Yeah.
What grade was this?
I had to be 11, 12, 13 maybe.
So a few years of that.
This was after I used to tap dance, but I don't want it. We gonna go. Yeah, I know it's gonna go. It goes crazy. So I saw Sammy Davis Jr. And I was like, I want to do that, and they was like, all right, I guess you. So I was tap dancing in modern jazz with who's my teacher, Leslie Uggams.
And how did you meet Leslie Uggams?
Well, she was the teacher.
Funny
and she used and then I'm a little kid, and she used to take her high waist and crank them up, and I'm a little kid. I don't know what I'm feeling, but it's Leslie Uggams.
Yeah, something's tingling.
So
it's getting a little warm.
So anyway, moving on. So I danced for a while.
Leslie Uggams.
Google Leslie Uggams.
Yeah.
And
the early days.
Yeah, and so I'm. Next thing was like fencing. I did it. I love doing it, right? And it was nobody else was doing it. And then I went to college, and they had a fencing team, and I ended up getting a 2-year ride.
Yeah.
Fencing. I won the Mid-Hudson Division bronze medal in the Mid-Hudson Division, but the sport is expensive.
Yeah, of course.
You gotta have
the loan, the suit.
The weapon back then was like $130 a weapon, and you had to have 2 working weapons
that wouldn't have been,
and a practice weapon. And then the cord was $60, and the lame, which is the metal jacket, and the Anyway,
imagine if we could have 2 working weapons and a practice weapon.
I might have that. I will not confirm or deny.
Imagine.
So ICE, come get me. So I was fencing, and
The tap dance, fencing, and you get to school and you see your man going to the club and he's saying, "Come dance with us."
Yes.
We dance and you get in there. The chicks in there is like, "Who is this?"
Yeah, what is
and
this?
Then, and then
now let me rewind. Let me go back.
Okay.
So my dad is a depression child. He had 16 brothers and sisters, 8 boys, 8 girls. He's the baby of them. They have his mama is my grandmother's half white, half black from Boston.
Okay.
Grew up in an orphanage because you can't be half black, half white, especially in Boston. Right. And my grandfather on his side is from Antigua.
Oh, all right.
But my mama's from Zuna, Virginia, FBA.
Okay.
And her father is Sioux, Monacan Indian.
Okay.
Right, from the Sioux Nation.
Right.
So I'm half FBA, half coconut, half cornbread.
Okay.
I'm cocoa bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and
ADOS.
He does, right? So anyway, I'm coming out, I get to the point where like I see my man, right? And I was doing martial arts and stuff like that. I had done Shotokan for a while. And then I dropped out of school, came home, and I started training with Moses Power and the FOI. Louis Farrakhan, FOI.
The Fruit of Islam.
Shion Muhammad, who is actually Farrakhan's right-hand man under his son right now in FOI. And I'm training with these dudes. And want to do comedy, but I'm that dude. Like I had on Hot 97, I had a radio bump. Like you
What's
know
that? What?
So you know when you go, yo, my name is Prince Mandingo.
Oh, a drop, yeah.
So I named my name Prince Mandingo. I'm dancing already.
Okay, now you're dancing.
My name is Prince Mandingo, and when I'm not taking my clothes off, I'm keeping my radio on. Hot 90. I had my own bump, right?
Yeah.
So the funny thing about that, stripping was like professional wrestling. It had regions. And everybody controlled the regions because you had Queens, you had Brooklyn dudes, you had Bronx dudes, and like they wouldn't mingle. But I kind of saw the whole vibe. And mind you, this is after I pledged Q because I'm already kind of, and I started dancing with this dude, but I noticed that there's, I'm with my man, I spend this time where I become the dude in the Wall Street area. And so all these working women, blah, 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 right? And the place closes. So now I go from famous, like walking on the street, oh, it's man, cat, like with it autographed, crazy that, to nothing. So now I got to enter right into that stripper world that everybody else is in, all the boroughs, and there's a very distinct.
It's competitive,
and you can't cross the back. Like if you're a Brooklyn dude, you don't.
Territorial.
There's a few dudes who supersede the boundaries, but not many.
Yeah.
So I start out and I infiltrate every borough before they know who I am. I'm hanging out with the Bronx dude. I'm hanging out with doing with the Queens dude, and all you do, you don't get paid. You just tip out. So you go up. You go out, you
do your set.
You don't even do a set. You just out there.
Moving
around in your costume. And I would come out and do when everybody would be tipping, I would go and do my whole act on the floor.
Okay, got it.
And they would be like, oh, who is this? And then I would hand out business cards. And they would be like, who's this dude? Right? And I would just work for free in every borough. So my name started ringing bells. And they were like, and they weren't paying nobody. And then I finally got a call, yo, man, Digo, I want you to come out to the Bronx. We got a spot for you on the flyer. Then another one, and so by the time people knew who I was, all 5 boroughs knew who I was, and then they couldn't stop. And then the guy was like, well, when am I getting paid? And it was like, who do you think you think you out of here? Yo. And I was like, look, no hard feelings, but when you ready to pay me, you could call.
Because you had clientele, you had a fan base.
They were, before social media.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I got the call. Yo, I got booking fees $50 or something or whatever. And all right, cool. so now I'm blowing up, but I was, so the picture, the industry was this. You had little dudes with no body that could dance and move. You had big dudes that had body, could move. And I was 230, 240, ripped, but I was a club head. I used to go to Paradise Garage and B-52s. I was a hub. Plus, I did modern jazz and tap
dance and fencing. You had good footwork.
It was on and popping.
Yeah.
But everybody was like, God, just got paid.
Yeah.
Shoulder pads. And the older guys dressed like wrestlers, like pink boas and zebra and all that. And then the newer guys kind of wore like sexy R&B, Bobby Brown. Niggas had the Gumby. And so I see this movie, Ken Norton, Prince Mandingo. Mm-hmm. That's going to be my name. Now, everybody talks about Mandingo. There was no Mandingo before me. None. And if you know remember Uptown Comedy Club? The series?
I remember that, yeah.
Maceo and them.
Maceo,
I am the real Mandingo. You remember that joke?
Yeah.
That was because of me. So,
were you doing comedy at that time?
No, I was just around them. I used to, a lot of those dudes used to do martial arts. Uh-huh. And I don't know, you know Jimmy Martinez. I did they told Shotokan, but I was also training.
I feel like in New York you had to do all of that shit.
I mean, if nobody was fencing though.
Well, nobody was fencing, and they might not have been tap dancing.
And my dad taught boxing. He taught boxing and shit. So I had and then I'm doing that, and I'm training with them in Shotokan, but I hook up with the Fruit of Islam, who was nasty. So a lot of those dudes went to the penitentiary. And in the penitentiary, you had dudes who were black dudes who were kung fu this, and so this was like the real. People talk about Bruce Lee was the first integration of MMA, like the integration. They was doing it in jail, surviving.
Absolutely. Close quarter combat.
And 52 blocking system and kung fu, and they was all, So Fruit of Islam was bad. And Moses Powell, one of the first black men to be inducted into the Japanese Hall of Fame, was like my dad in martial arts.
Got it.
So I'm stripping, so I don't have no job till the nighttime, and I'm hanging out with all the masters, the Fruit of Islam masters. I'm training with them at 8 o'clock in the morning till ridiculous 1 o'clock. But then I was also tasting Shotokan with Pereira and his guys, who were the Bronx dudes, Bronx River dudes, who Pereira taught them to do Shotokan, and then they were using karate to stick people up and hijack trucks.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like, you got a
best of both worlds. Yeah, you got a skill set. Yeah.
And
you was using your karate stripping.
Yeah. I was diving over tables and rollouts.
Yes.
But those dudes would fight full contact all the time, just all out, and punch each other in the face. It's crazy. And so let me rewind. So I was a scary little kid because my dad grew up Jim Crow, Depression, and he was, don't go there. These boys are gonna kill you. They'll shoot you. You know what I'm saying? So I was a scary kid. So I went through school afraid of everything, afraid of girls, afraid of fighting, afraid of it. And then but I was a dude who would like my bully in third grade, John Shade, I still remember him today. He had the little pointy nibbler ears, right? And he used to take my French fries. But I would do this thing where he would bully me, and I would want to do something, but I was so scary I wouldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
That I would be staring at the ceiling for 2 weeks after it. I should have did this. It would just, I don't know if anybody's experiencing.
No, I can. You telling my life.
Yeah.
I remember. Mine was Eric Bullock in the 6th grade.
See, there you go.
He was smaller than me.
Yeah,
he pushed me one time, and I was like, "Damn, why didn't I just not?"
I should have, would have, and I did.
I was more worried about getting in trouble at the house.
Yeah,
I was involved in some bullshit.
My dad was always like, "Don't go out in the street, you're gonna get killed. Don't do this." You know, and he kind of put the fear in me of everything. So I'm scared of everything, but it's just killing me that that I'm afraid of everything.
Yeah.
So I go to I know I'm jumping around, but I go to high school. I go to Brooklyn Tech, which is a vocational, like a high end school. Our boy Mandani went to Bronx science.
Oh, is that where he went? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's like those were the three courses. Brooklyn Tech and Stuyvesant was the a lot of Asian kids, right? and and I decided when I went to college, I'm gonna be a different dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna not say if somebody say something. And we talking about Brooklyn in the 80s.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Like I always say, if you was walking around with an iPad in the a $700-800 iPad in the 80s, you are trying to commit suicide, son.
Yeah. He trying to leave.
We used to, you would be on the train and they would measure their sneaker next to yours to see if it fit before they would steal your sneakers off your jacket. They would measure the jacket length.
They put their arm next to your arm.
This was the 8-ball, sheepskin, quarter like that.
Starter jackets.
Started a little later, but
in the 90s.
But we talking about sheepskins. Dudes was getting murdered for that, right? So I just decided I just wasn't. So this is funny. This is a weird thing. This is gonna sound crazy, but I was like 13 years old. I'm going to college, and I was trying to figure out fear, right? Like, how do you understand fear? And I always said, but what I realized, I don't know if I had it crystallized the way I say it now, you know, but fear exists between the time that an opportunity is presented and how long you take to access the opportunity. The longer you take to access the fear, the more the fear builds.
Okay.
So you get an opportunity to do something, you don't do it, you're scared, and then you literally convince yourself until the fear is paralyzed.
Right.
So even as a young kid, I had this kind of logical way of looking at things, and I was like, all right, so if I access the opportunity early, I have less fear to deal with. So I was even afraid to ask girls to dance. You know how you go to the dance and there's a cute girl you want to dance to, and you walk in and then you stand on the wall and then you don't, and then all of a sudden you can't move.
No.
And then the lights come on, last song, you're like, oh.
Yeah, I should have. Yeah, the whole time.
So what I started doing, I would go to the dance. I see the girl cute. I still be snow on me. Yo, you want to dance? And she was like,
goofy. Yeah.
She be like, okay, because she kind of took my aggressiveness as confidence.
Right.
And she was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, let me put my coat down. And then I'd be in it, you know? And I learned that was how I dealt with the fear. So it was always like, say yes, like run into the fear, because the longer you wait, the fear builds. It's like, it's funny, like it's interesting how wisdom is, it mimics everything else. Like you remember in physics, they say things in motion tend to stay in motion. Things at rest tend to stay at rest. So if you take a boulder, drop it in the sand, the longer it sits in the sand, the less likely is it to move and it sinks. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the same thing. But if you take a boulder and you drop it and it's bouncing, you could push it and move it while it's bouncing, you know? Yeah. So I was like, I always have to. So when I went to high school, I was like, no, I'm never going to say no.
I'm not going to take it. Yeah.
So I'm in Brooklyn Tech, and there was a rough school called Westinghouse, and they used to sneak in Brooklyn Tech and rob the smart kids. And this guy comes in, and he goes, give me a watch. I had got this Timex watch for something. And I was like, nah. And they pull a knife out on me, and I'm like, nah. And the dude goes to stab me. I put my hand up, and I get stabbed in the arm.
Right.
I'm in school. I'm bleeding like a pig. I wrap it up. I leave school. I go home. I don't tell my mother and father nothing. I'm in the bathroom trying to get the blood stopped because I'm bleeding like a pig. And I go, I'm going to get that dude. So my dad went, like I said, my dad was in World War II. He took a Nazi dagger off a dude. The bayonet joint, like the officer joint. I still got it. It's got the swastika on it and everything. Oh, sure. And I threw it in my JanSport, which is the bag of the time. Yeah. And I'm going to school every day looking for this dude. The knife, the blade on it is like this.
Yeah, easily. Foot and a half.
And it goes on the end of the bayonet.
Yeah.
And my dad sees the knife the knife in my bag. And he transferred me what happened. And I was like, I got stabbed, and I was looking for this dude. And he was like, son, you know. Mm-hmm. So he's out, you know, he's already scary. I'm his only son. He have 3 daughters already. Right. and he transferred me to Bishop Loughlin High School. I'm a year under Mark Jackson.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So
Mark Jackson is the one that stabbed you?
No. But he was just, him and James Major. It was
all that man.
Yeah. And
Your
I'm
hand
in.
was down. Man down.
Which this is my father, because my father did basketball.
Yeah.
All over. He was like the Manigoat, the goat Manigoat
Yeah.
of Brooklyn, though.
Okay.
And my pops was only 5'2", so he had started this thing called 6 foot and under for little dudes who couldn't play, because if you wasn't 7 foot and you were little and so he made a league for just point guards. So the biggest dude could be 6 foot, would play the center, and he had all these little point guards playing that could dunk. So the gameplay was crazy. My pops invented that.
I was about to say that's a famous league though, right?
6 foot and under. My pops invented that.
That's still going on, right?
Probably.
Probably.
I don't think he patented it because my pops.
Sure, but I feel like I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
6 foot and under. So he would, that was because he was a ball player and he didn't.
I wish I would have known.
Why you had ball game? You had games?
Of course, I still play.
Well,
and I'm still under 6 feet.
Yeah. But you got guys 6 foot that could dunk still.
Absolutely. Still. Yeah.
So it was just like you
knew you had to conquer that fear, and that's when you did.
And that was the first, and I just said
beginning.
yes. And then what I realized was that everybody's scared.
Yes, correct.
And when you're the guy who's not scared, the assumption is that you're not afraid. And bravery exists in the presence of fear, not without fear. If you're not afraid, there's no bravery. You know what I mean? So I was
Say that again.
Bravery only exists in the presence of fear. If you're not afraid, then you ain't brave. It's the ability to overcome the fear.
Yeah.
And so, but what I realized is start noticing how people respond to the person who has the intention. They just move out the way because everybody wants to be led. Everybody would rather be led than not. Right. They don't want to be the guy in the front room. And a lot of times, and if you look at this Trump shit, it's like people will follow because he says, let's do it. Right. And even if they walk off the cliff, they don't want to be the person who made people walk off the cliff. Yeah. They would rather go, he must know. So I took on this moniker where I would just introduce myself to people, talk to people, just everything that I wasn't. It forged me into this dude who was outgoing and aggressive and whatever.
So that's the comedian origin story. Or the villain. Is that the villain origin story?
A little bit of both.
Okay, yeah,
but my dad, I grew up with my dad, and my dad was like, always keep your word, never, always tell the truth. And always, and my mom was like, always be kind to people. My mom was a sweetheart. And so I had, these things, but he would tell, my pops would be like, respect is a two-way street. You got to give it to get it. What he didn't say was, I like your sisters better than I like you.
Yeah.
So, and as long as you not pushing that crap I told you to me, we okay. So he was like, when I was like, yo, with respect, he was like, who I'm your father. Like, get out of here.
It stops with me.
Yeah. So, is it the villain? I don't know. I just think it kind of made me this dude who kind of.
So I'm listening, and there's a obvious difference. Well, not obvious difference in age, but a lot of parallels. I'm hearing a lot of parallels because my confidence kind of kicked in after high school, right? So my confidence came from the fact that I had an older brother and an older sister.
Yeah.
And everybody, you little so-and-so, right? And so everybody liked my sister.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a lookout.
My sister,
Like, oh, you so-and-so, okay, all right.
I got you.
You know what I mean? So it was that. But we used to have a thing about this specifically I thought was interesting about your approach to talking to girls.
Yeah.
So when I got to college, we had a big crew of us, like 10 deep. We rode everywhere. And we had this thing called Rule Number 1.
Yeah.
And you go into a place, college party or whatever, and you identify your top 5 draft picks.
Right.
Like she's going 5th, she's going 4th, she's number 1. And usually you kind of, I don't know. I'll start at the bottom and work my way up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? That's the mentality.
Yeah.
Coming from a shy kid. Be like, I'll talk to her, and then maybe I muster up the courage to talk to my number one. No. So rule number one is you go in there and go smack at the number one.
Right.
Because two things going to happen. If she rejects you, so the fuck what?
Right.
Because everybody after her is a win.
Yeah.
If she accepts your offer,
you'll win.
Your night is over. You don't have to do anything else. Because you don't need to talk to nobody else. 2, 3, 4, and 5, because you got number one.
Yeah.
But if that was the number one shot you down, your 2 is still that's
still a
pick.
good thing,
that's
right?
Especially
in a room of 50.
Yeah.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's dope.
We used to say we get each other, liquid courage or whatever. We go to the college party. We'd be like, hey, rule number 1. Always remember rule number 1.
Right.
And you come in there, you got your swag on,
bang,
and you go right to the number 1. What's happening? You know what I'm saying? And if you get shot down, like your confidence is already. I wanted the best thing in here.
Yeah.
So when I go to the next one,
I'm good.
It's not. You can say that, baby.
Stop playing.
I mean, yeah.
That I ain't gonna lie, but and no offense to you, but that's why I pledge Q.
Why no offense to me? How's that offensive to me?
Well, because look, I get why you would play Alpha, I guess. But the thing was that Q's are out of their mind.
Yeah.
Like if you pledge Q, you could die. Right?
Yeah.
So the same thing, I was like, I'm going for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I get how Alphas was the first. Whatever y'all say.
As long as you know.
Yeah, right. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But needs to be like, here come the and dudes would be like, here come the Q's, right? So you could have everybody strolling, you could have one Q, right? And it was just and so I was like, that's mine.
It was probably the boots too for you.
The gold boots was hot.
Something about the boots.
Yeah. And then
being
just
a Brooklyn guy.
Just you got. I mean, it's definitely there's a different type of guy, and I know I used to hang with alphas and sigmas and
it's funny that you bring that up. So I have this thing where I don't buy into the stereotypes because that type of guy can be in every type of organization.
They are.
Yeah, you know.
My
what I mean?
crew was
was
a Q, a alpha, a sigma, and a sigma Phi Rho. That was, they was the live.
Yeah.
And whatever brought them to that, bro. I agree with you. Sure. But there is a mentality that a dude, like I knew dudes that would pledge Kappa, ugly dudes, and then they'd be walking around with an ascot and a cashmere coat.
Buying into the stereotype.
And they would just try to perpetuate it.
Yeah, perpetuate it.
And I knew the alphas where all of a sudden they had bow ties and suspenders and wire with, like, you don't read.
It's a uniform.
Yeah. So, it is.
No, that's funny. And I feel like, at this late day, like the perpetualization or however you want to frame those stereotypes, I feel like that's so like
it's so ridiculous, and the
now.
colorism is worse.
Yeah.
So it's funny you say that because, like, I came from a household, but I was running the streets.
Yeah.
And I tell anybody, if you see there's a clique, and there's a light-skinned dude in the clique who everybody vouch for, that dude is a maniac because you're a good-looking light-skinned. It's like, this pussy-ass nigga piss-colored.
So, unfortunately, I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I hate that, though.
Yeah.
I even hate the whole conversation of acting light-skinned.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got pro-black stuff early.
Yeah.
Grade school.
Me too.
You know what I mean? So the fact that used to be a thing, I hate when people, I hate when we do it. I hate when we do
it's
it.
It's changing though.
It is. It's changing. It's getting a little bit better, but people still do the whole. I jump on social media. I be like, shut that shit up. Shut that dumb shit up. And they be like, he's acting light skinned, or he's. I be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But it was so ingrained in the '80s.
Yeah.
Right. That in order, if you were light skinned,
you had to know.
Fair hair. you were always essentially under attack.
Even
so
then,
you had to
don't say fair hair.
You get
a little straighter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because
well,
that is
I,
even.
You notice I didn't say good hair.
Yeah. Right.
Less coarse.
Yeah,
you
right.
know what I mean, 9 ether.
Right.
You will.
Right.
But it was you had to overcompensate.
Yes.
So that guy would be the maniac.
Oh, he's the maniac because because soon as you run up on another crew, they gonna be like, oh, R&B.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll be sure this nigga.
Now, was that you though?
Yeah, was I the dude?
Yeah, that had to become the maniac.
Oh yeah, because my dudes would be like, yo, please don't like don't call me piss colored. Don't
none of that shit.
This because and then I'm on this swing first thing too.
Yeah.
So it was like we walk in and they be like, oh, this pretty nigga, and then boom, oh, here we go. So when it would go down, they would go, please, don't,
not him,
don't start, fight me.
All right. So all right. So you're in the dancing world, you're in the stripping world.
Yeah.
That's a street adjacent, or all the way in, maybe.
Yeah, it's all the way in because when it started becoming money.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And some money don't pay you.
So you get into the seedy side of the game.
Yeah.
Now this is at one time, man. I'm reading your bio, man. You was a manager of. I
was a personal manager of ladies.
Procurement manager.
Yes. I was of services.
Yeah. How did you land into
that? So I become one of the top
dancers
on the East Coast. I won the contest 7 times in a row, right? And I'm the dude and the chicks. Plus, let me rewind. On my block, there's a dude named Alfred, right? Alfred's a pretty brown-skinned dude. Some of the baddest chicks I ever seen him as a kid. We playing stickball, and they would come up, and then white, Asian, black, light-skinned, dark-skinned, big boot, and they would come down the block, and we would stop, like, oh my God, right? And they would always go to Alfred's. Like, hey, and then one of us would go, oh, Alfred didn't come in yet. We know you here for Alfred.
Yeah.
He goes, he didn't come in yet. He should be here soon. Oh, thank you, boys. And we like, And as a kid, I was like, oh, everybody was like, oh, Alfred's the man. But as me, I'm like, oh, I want to be Alfred.
Right.
I'm gonna be that dude. And then I become a stripper, and then the access blows up, and then I'm still scared of girls and stuff. But so I was in my relationship with my college girlfriend was kind of abusive. Because she came from an abusive household. Like she was half Haitian, half Mexican, which is
okay.
And her pops used to beat her mom, but her mom, when he went to sleep, she would hit him in the head with a frying pan.
Right.
Like, so it wasn't just
to knock him out that dream.
You're like you, and I mean, they be wrapped head, wrapped. It was crazy. So when you grow up in that kind of toxic environment, you become that.
Yeah.
So her and her sisters were super abusive. Like, I remember them having her and her sister. She was like, "Bitch, you wore my sweater," and my girl would be like, "That's why you had an abortion." You like,
whoa. How did we get here?
But that's how they would get down. Yeah. So imagine how brutal she was with her man, and my self-esteem was trash.
Wow.
Right? And then she pledged Delta, and I hadn't pledged yet because Q's they get kicked off campus every week. And I just, but now I'm stripping. She telling me I ain't shit, and I'm going out and stripping 600-800 women chanting, "Go Mandingo, go man," like this. So but I'm still caught up, right?
Yeah.
Tasting this, and it just clicked. Like,
I need to be manager.
How come they love me and she? So then I become the dude, that dude, and
because you were you probably looking on the inside to be desired.
Of course.
In a real way.
Of course.
Outside of,
and I was getting it. It wasn't registered.
Yeah.
So now I'm the guy, and Rudy Giuliani, this is crazy. Rudy Giuliani becomes mayor. He decides he wants to clean up New York. And he sends Vice to all the strip clubs to close down the strip. He closed down 42nd Street, all the peep shows.
That's kind of like ICE.
Yeah.
They doing the same shit.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You had specific, like you couldn't be, if the girl was, it was an all nude club. You couldn't be so many feet, right? You couldn't sell alcohol in all new clubs.
Yeah.
So it was weird, and then part of your business had to be 40% of something other than adult entertainment. That's why you have all these, in Manhattan, you had these strip clubs with video stores next to them.
Yeah. Okay.
And they would sell regular movies, porn movies, and whatever, and dildos, right? So it's just weird. And the guy who ran this club in Flatbush called the Cheetah Club, he was like, yo, these girls all like you. They all, they respect you, but they keep turning tricks in the club. Like in the club, they go in the corner, pull it to the blah, 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 blah. He's like, can you stop them? So I'm in the club managing on my not dice. Now, mind you, I'm also doing bare knuckle fighting.
Okay.
Somebody called me up like, I'm that dude. You asked me.
Gypsy King.
Yeah, like whatever you want. Yeah. You got money for me, I'm coming. Yo, we want to fight this dude? $2,000? Yes. Yeah. You don't want to know who it is? No. Let's do it, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because Michael Che, the comedian Michael Che. So I used to dance with his uncle. And when I met Michael Che, he was like, yo, he introduced himself. He go, yo, my uncle, yeah, y'all used to strip together. When we was 8 years old, we used to watch the VCR tapes and y'all doing this So shout out to Michael Che. It's my man. Him and his brother I used to dance with. His uncle and his brother. Anyway, they asked me to manage, and for no reason, I cannot get them to stop. Tricking in the thing. So I'm like you. I'm an entrepreneur. Clearly, you want to do this.
There's a demand.
Let's take this out of the club, and then we don't have to. And that's how I got it.
That's how you. So you were managing security or all of the above.
All of it.
What was your stable like at its height?
Its
numbers
height,
wise,
12.
numbers were 12. Oh, nice. You had a dozen.
Yeah,
a dirty
12,
dozen.
12.
A dirty foot dozen.
Yeah, at the height.
At the height. Wow.
Yeah, and but you don't.
That's hard to maintain, though.
Yes, because you have different relationships. Yeah. And this is not something I brag about and that I'm even proud of because it's an exploitive business, but there is an etiquette to everything, right? So you have to be they can rely on you. They got to be able to trust you. You got to be able to keep them straight, and I wasn't in what you call like a gorilla pimp or like a, there are a lot of guys with pimp with drugs, get girls strung out on drugs and they use the drug. I was like talking. Yeah, this is. And you learn different types of girls, this, that, and the other, and you start to understand relationships. Period, because they are relationships. I mean, I understand it's exploitive and everything, but it is a relationship, and there's dynamics to the relationship. And so, if I'm looking at 13, I'm looking at trying to explore fear. This is right up my alley, right? Plus, I was a psych major and whatever.
And it was an opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And
how long did you do that? How many years?
I would say maybe 5 or 6.
Okay, so 5 or 6. Now that being if I had to guess, that's the foundation for your relationship consultation business, which you do now.
Yes.
To this day.
Right. So understanding those relationships, understanding how men perceive, and here's the thing, prostitution is a really conservative thing. There's the guy, the John, pays the money. The girl sells the ass.
That's capitalism.
The dude collects the money, right? And what does he give back? He gives up social and security and da-da-da-da, which is the nature of the whole thing. Yeah. And never the twain shall meet, right? You can't call yourself the pimp if you paying for ass. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just... So you're in a situation where you start to have understanding of the dynamics of relationships and different women, and then I was stripping, and so I was also, because of that, when I was stripping, I was the object. I was the top 5. I was the top 1.
Okay, got it.
So I'm the top dude in the show, and they trying to get me.
Yeah.
So I also have the empathy to understand what it is to be be objectified.
Yeah, right.
Right? And I understand the other part of it when I was afraid to understand the guy who's in pursuing, who doesn't have the confidence to approach, and everything in between it. You know, I mean, I didn't have to worry about somebody, you know, like graping me or, you know, whatever, but it was, you know, I would say it was just an understanding that other people don't have. And I don't care what kind of psychology degree you have and stuff. There's a difference in that real world, you know, and then having such a magnitude of women in your life, you start to see patterns. Things start to, they just kind of diverge into these patterns that happen over and over again. So,
you know, transition. You were alongside the late great Patrice O'Neal,
right,
on Black Phillip situation,
right.
And then you kind of, after his passing, you had your own situation, Beige Phillip,
yeah,
and then which morphed into Man School
202.
How big is that for you? Like, what are some of the you know, because you connect with people all over the world.
Yeah,
all over the world. They call from knowing your journey, your path to
right.
Hey man, I got problems with my own lady.
Went through a broke up. I'm divorced. I just caught my way and cheating. I just got caught. Whatever it is.
Yeah. How did that come about, and how did that blow up so big for you?
So Patrice was at the pinnacle of kind of figuring out who he was as a and he was always like legendary in the comedy community. Like his name, if people don't know him, comics know him, right? And but Patrice was a big kind of fat motherfucker, 6'6", you know. So he was the dude who watched the me's of the get late, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he got an opportunity to do Opie and Anthony and stuff, and he went on there, and then they was like, yo, you should have your own relationship show. And so he called me, which created a lot of animosity in comedy because he had his contemporaries, Bill Burr, Bobby, all these other dudes who he was, like, I was just starting to do comedy. He had already been doing comedy 10 years when I met him. And they were like, why did you pick him? It was because this is what I do.
Yeah.
And Patrice was also, one of the things that made his comedy, he was honest about what it was, right? And so we used to have these long conversations, and I was like, nah, it ain't like that. So when I got into comedy, I started doing comedy. I was doing a clothing line. So I was trying to do a clothing line, right? And a dude, because I'm working for the phone.
Is this before or after you became a pilot?
I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't do. But my stepdaughter that I raised is a pilot. She's a commercial pilot now, right? But what happened was, so it's like 94. I take a test. I didn't have no dental. I work for the phone company.
Okay.
And I'm like, how can I immerse them? So I get involved in the union, contract negotiation, and, you know, doing labor work with the labor union and whatever. And so I have that kind of perspective. Plus, all of this, the pimp shit and everything, it's
relevant.
It's all relevant.
Yeah, it's all relevant.
And
the game is the game.
So I was, the tail end of my career, I was doing this clothing line. This dude asked me to do a clothing line with him, and I did the clothing line, and I had a beef with a dude who owed me a couple of stacks. And my man from the phone company, like, I was still stripping at night. And I tell him, yours, I got a little beef, but look, my people, just make sure you could come, just stay out of it. Nah, I'm rocking with you, Yoda. So we go up in the dressing room, and I was, the discrepancy was he wasn't paying people right, and he owed me a few stacks. And my people didn't put him in his place when he didn't pay dudes where they expected me to pay.
Right.
So I said, the first dude that knocked this dude out, I'll give him $500. And they were like, word? Bet.
Yeah.
And I go, but if I knock him out,
nobody gets nothing.
You got to pay me $100. I was like, we ain't giving you $500 because you'll do it. And I was like, we'll give you $100. I was like, all right, bet. So we go to the show. My man is there. And I had already had this thing where, I had to kind of conquer the fear, because you realize what happens when you move forward, you get accustomed to moving forward. It's like a boxer getting punched in the face. It's just part of the game. Yeah. And you realize that most people ain't ready to get down. Most people don't want to smoke. I have this theory that there's 5% of dudes in the world that want to smoke. Like have no problem with the smoke, comfortable with the lizard brain. 3% of them are sociopaths, right? And 2% of them are guardians of everybody else. Wow. So when somebody's in the train, there's the 2% of the guy will go, shut the fuck. What? But it's only 2%. Yeah. Now there's another 10% of dudes, if the get down is the get down, they'll jump in, but they ain't gonna. Right. I was always the 2%. So I would tell, if I was running the streets of party, look, when I hit the dude and he's at 10 o'clock, right? The fight is on. I'm not going to warn you, just know.
When you see him falling back.
When you see him at 10 o'clock, it's on, right? Jump on board. And just to the point where when a dude would say something disrespectful, everybody would go, please stop. It's beautiful women here. We want to party. And I'm like, it's gotta happen.
So all of this is helping you understand people.
Yes.
Interpersonal.
So when you hear the yappity yap, both parties are scared. But I'm going this and this and this. But both of us, because we ain't really about to smoke, is looking for an off-ramp. Man, who you? Who the fuck you? But here's the thing. It only gets to the highest level when it's really could get violent. What if, who you? Bang! You win.
In that moment.
Not only that, but everybody else goes, he different. He don't, it's going down. Like I didn't like but it was really out of fear, because I didn't like the anxiety of figuring out, is this going to happen or not? So I just make it happen, and then we see what it is.
How did you transition out of that into comedy?
So, but here's the story. So I take my man. We go, the dude owes me a few stacks. There's a bounty on his head for $500. I don't want to pay the $500. They need to rev up. So the dude walks in. He's like, hey, Lamont. And he's like, yeah, whatever. They all trying to get up. He comes in. I go, make sure the next time you do a show, you make sure my people get paid. Who the fuck is you? Bang! Cleaned his clock. But my man was there, so I said, when he came in, I said, you want a drink? Go get me a Hennessy. I give him the money. He leaves. I knock the dude out. The dude, my boy, comes back. He's out. And everybody like, what? He comes back with the drinks. Like, what is going on? Now, mind you, there's 800 women waiting for the show. We get ready, whatever. This dude's clock is clean. I had a clothing line with him. And I think it kind of effed him up. Because I feel like after that, he was just so adversarial about the business, because he was afraid I was going to take advantage. So he always felt like he just, if we were doing like sweat hoodies, I would go red, he'd go blue. We would go string hoodies with zipper, he would go and I just was like, man, get ready, because I'm not as, I'm smarter, but I'm still like, he gonna make me go in his mouth. So I go, and I had only did a clothing line to not do comedy. I was afraid to do comedy, because stripping is easy because you're physically naked.
That's easy.
Comedy is scary because you're emotionally naked.
All right.
And I had this rep. I'm like running around the street adjacent or close to, because I mean, I grew up in a brown, like our house, I had both, but I was in the streets on my own, and I didn't have, and so I didn't think people would think I was funny. But I knew there was a technique and a thing to stand-up comedy. So when I started doing, I knocked this dude out. I gave the guy, said, you could have the clothing line. I'm out. And that day I took a class. Some dude was giving me a class.
Same day.
Same day I called up and signed up.
This is the craziest movie. and then,
there's sidebars that I didn't even.
Yeah, I can see the screenplay now as he stands over top of him. He thinks, I should go take an improv class. Man.
So I do that, and then I start doing comedy.
Yeah, wow.
So first thing I do is I go to Barnes & Noble, because they still have books, and I buy every book on stand-up. 8 books I read. Comedy Bible, Judy Carter, Judy Carter, everything.
Yeah.
Even stuff that you don't even know.
Yeah, sure.
And I read them cover to cover, and I understand the technical, okay, this misdirection, this, that, da. I had no, and I start going to this class, and I'm there. I'm doing 15, 20 jokes every class. I got index cards because I'm back fencing.
Yeah. Forward retreat.
Get the footwork, get the base first.
Yeah.
Nobody thinks, people scared of me. People don't see me as a funny dude. I'm gonna make sure that the technical part of my writing is dope. And it's not gonna matter whether I'm funny or not. I'm gonna just be so good at writing, and so it's funny off the paper. And I start doing it, and I come up with this character like this, because I'm already intimidating, and I come up with this character where I'm kind of look like a guy who just escaped from prison. I'm a wife beater on, bandana, and my first joke is, before I start, I just want to say it would be to everybody's advantage to laugh as loud and as long as possible. I've been diagnosed with psychotic episodes, and it's brought on by a lack of acceptance in the crowd. It just fits.
Yeah.
Bang, and then I go. My first joke was, I never had many friends, mostly hostages. Bang, and they're just with me.
Yeah.
Bang. And I knew how to write and stuff, and I started doing it, and I'm doing comedy, and it's killing. But then I realized I have so much experience. That dude is not gonna talk. He can't philosophize about fear. And
once you shift and pivot, it's not gonna be believable.
4 years, I wipe the whole of jokes.
Damn.
And I start scratch and start going on stage as myself, and I'm killing. I mean, like a character.
Yeah.
It just. And it's 7 to 10 minutes.
Dice Clay.
Yeah. It's just,
it works.
I know who you are.
Yeah.
Here's the jokes that guy would do. This is funny because he says it.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm in the scene in New York hustling, and somebody starts telling me about this guy, Patrice O'Neal. And I'm like, yo, he need to check for me, right? Not even, and I meet him, and he's sitting in the back heckling. Like this. It's funny, I remember being in the back one time, Kevin Hart, like this, we're talking about empty clubs on this. Kevin Hart's on stage, and Kevin's bombing, and Patrice throws a phone book onto this, bang, right, big ass yellow phone book, and he goes, yo, Kev, read that. It would be funnier. And he was just an asshole.
I saw a documentary on him. I didn't realize that's how their relationship was.
Yeah. Oh,
that's how they started. Yeah.
And I knew Kev because but Patrice and I were like, we had the kind of same thinking. And so when he got an opportunity to do this relationship thing, right, he was like, yo, because we used to talk on the phone for hours. And he was like, yo, I got this thing, this opportunity, the radio thing. You want to do it? Yeah. What are we talking about? And he just show up. We gonna do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I came on. We started doing it. It was like 13 episodes. It went online, and then became a cult I didn't even know because this is pre-YouTube. Somebody took the episodes, put it online. It gets this cult following that still dudes listen to. But it was the interim. Like we hadn't really we knew that there was a problem with relationships. We just didn't know what it was, and we were trying to figure it out. So and plus he was a fat dude who didn't get laid in the beginning until he kind of figured it out. So he had a little anger, but I'll be sure, nigga. Like I was, I was just got paid, right? And
with less than coarse hair.
Exactly, good point, right? And we started exploring this, which really is the origin,
the genesis,
of the red pill thing.
Yes.
The Fresh and Fit, those all dudes was listening to Blackface, including Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels had referenced Patrice. So this was pre-internet, and the difference was, I was kind of crystallizing, but I wasn't internet savvy, right? So I'm going to different venues, different podcasting. I'm going to different podcasting. We did 13 episodes. Patrice passed, and I'm doing podcasts trying to sell my wares. I go in and see Gavin McInnes, the guy who started the Proud Boys, right? So I'm going on this dude's show. He starts talking about this fraternal organization he wants to start. I'm going to be the Pope of the Proud Boys. I'm going to be the spiritual and relationship advisor. They're calling me the Pope.
They're making light of it, but it's something that they're doing. They ain't had a name.
Well,
yet.
No, it was a light. It was light. It was a joke.
Yeah.
And I would go on Gavin McInnes' show, and it would just kept evolving. First they came up with a name, then it was Proud of Your Boy from the Aladdin thing. Then they had a belt. Then it was a pledge period, and it's growing. I'm there, not even now. The N-word is not really hitting me, but they got a Facebook page. This is how far back it was. And I go on the Facebook page, and it's all this monkey, nigga, this N-word, and I go, yo, what's this? He goes on, and he puts out a statement, a letter on the Facebook page. This does not be tolerated, But behind my back, when I wasn't on the show, he was perpetuating all that stuff. Gavin McInnes had started... what was the magazine with Shane? Not True TV.
I don't remember none of that.
There was a magazine. It was a television station where it was like a kind of a liberal kind of. What the fuck?
Nah.
Can we Google
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Gavin McInnes, and just find out what he sold. Anyway, God, I can't think of it because it's super liberal. But they was all on that kind of racist white supremacist. Vice.
Oh shit.
Vice channel.
Wow.
It was a magazine. They bought Gavin McInnes out because he was too racist, and they couldn't clean it up to sell the show.
Right.
But Shane and all them dudes was on it too.
Yeah.
But they just wasn't as bad as him. And they bought him out. I think he got like $11 million. And then he started doing his own, everybody started. This was early on when people were just starting the podcast. And I was on there. He started the Proud Boys thing. I talked to him again about the racism stuff. And I was like, yo, I'm done. I'm out. I'm distancing myself. And that's when they say Proud Boys is a home terrorist group designated by the FBI.
You got out just in time.
I'm out 2 years ago. I get a call from one of the biggest podcasts at the time was This American Life. It's huge. Yo, we'd like to interview you about the Proud Boys, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I don't know what I had already moved on. I'm selling my wares. Yeah, but we really want you to tell your story. We know you were one of the origins, blah, 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 blah. We'd like to, I don't want to open that can of words. It's racist, blah, blah, blah. But such and such, you do. I was like, all right, whatever. I do the interview, and then they say that the Proud Boys were involved in Unite the Right thing in Charlotte where Heather Heyer got run over. And I was like, this was...
They wanted a statement from you.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't do this. Plus, I had the FBI roll up. Bing bong. I was like, can we talk to you for a minute? I didn't watch audit films back then, so I didn't know. Look, I have nothing to say.
I do not answer questions.
And I invited them in, and they interviewed me. And
damn it!
And they were like, we have an idea. I go, well, what's this about? They are in they're in Argentina trying to overthrow the government. They have chapters all over the world, and they're trying to. And would you want to go back in? Black Klansmen, no.
Go undercover.
Yeah, they wanted me to go back in.
Was the money right? The money wasn't right?
It didn't matter.
The money
wasn't right. I'm not
pulled that
doing that, right? This is before Enrico Tarrio. This is before Roger Stone. This is before all of that. And then they have a couple of violent things and stuff, and then Gavin distances himself, and then Enrico Tarrio, and that's...
So,
because those dudes needed the guidance. All of that, the Proud Boys, is because they ain't get no ass.
Yeah, right. Incels.
You want to talk about whatever the fuck is, I don't get, nobody getting a dick sucked and go, yo, I want to overthrow the government. Nigga, you like, yo, I'm going to just chill. I'm going to go to the movie.
I'm going to just go ahead and get this.
Hit this and we going to cuddle up and Netflix.
That anger, that anger, that's real. That anger is present. That's what all racism is.
Oh, yeah.
That's
if you getting it, you don't.
You're not.
But if you getting it and then they looking at that big chocolate dude, it's his fault that I'm WEI, white, entitled, and incompetent.
WEI. That's the WEI.
That's what's it. And it's not even being lukewarm. It's being like you don't even. And that's why I was involved with it, because I was like, they just needed somebody
guidance.
Let me show you how to do this. And,
but so even in that space, and this, as we wind this down, the red pill manosphere.
Yeah.
Right? You're an architect, you're a precursor of that. When you look at how it evolved, Kevin Samuels and beyond. Right. Are they doing it wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. And they did it, but I realized, this is what I realized about the internet. You have to instill the principles and you have to perceive how it's going to go left before it goes left. So right now when I do my podcast and stuff, I talk about three principles.
That's the same thing I say about AI, but go ahead.
Yes, because you got to figure out how is this
it could go wrong. Yeah.
So the first principle, something my dad always taught me, was authenticity. Tell the truth. My dad said, keep your word, credibility. And the third principle is empathy, right? Now, the acronym is ACE. ACE. Right? And so I was always crystal, even like after Patrice died and we had the started it, but I was like, was there something we're missing? Let me crystallize this in a real way so it's easy to, and so it became ACE, authenticity, credibility, empathy. The problem is when I was talking to Proud Boys, I said all of those things as equal, right? So you could authentically be a racist.
You're correct.
You could say, I hate black folks, which is still credible, right? The empathy is the thing that makes you go, where is your empathy to see where the humanity and other people. This is what guys don't understand. All these dudes who incels, and even now, what's crazy now, there's now this feminization of men. So where these dudes are fucking with trans men not to mess with women. I don't know if you understand. So I'm not. Okay, I got it. I'm not gay. Yeah. I refuse to mess with women because other men who have this same problem will just. Yeah. It's almost like jail in a way, right?
This is jail by choice. My hostility towards women is so much though.
Then I'm gonna take a dude, make him a girl, and then I'm gonna fuck with because I can't because I'm so afraid to be rejected. But what they don't understand, the empathy of it, is every time a woman gives you her number or her Instagram, she's taking a chance that you might murder her. Every time a girl gives you the number, she's going, should I give him my number or do I want free breadsticks and salad at the olive tree? You know what I'm saying? And they choose the salad over the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's life or death, like literally.
A man never has to go, I hope I don't go on this date and she doesn't rape me, she doesn't sexually assault me and grab my dick in the park. If that's the case, niggas would just be running in the park with the hot shorts on. Hoochie daddy, I'm all alone. But if you start with that, if you start that on a base, how does that change everything that you approach? Every significant way that you approach a woman from that point on. That you know that her life is on the line. It would be like you be in jail and someone's, yo, you want a Jell-O cup?
And you know I'm coming with that Jell-O cup.
I'm good.
I'm good, man.
I don't even eat Jell-O.
Blessings to you.
Salam alaikum. Let's pork.
Yeah, beloved. It's cool. Thanks for the offer, beloved.
But if you can imagine how a man would approach women differently if they understand it from their perspective.
Yeah.
But I was that. I mean, not with the rape, but I mean, as a stripper, I was the object. Yeah. Like, girls would mess with me and be married and be like, oh, I always wanted to get peed on. Oh. Because who am I to judge? I'm the hoe.
Yeah.
So I'm just the object.
Oh, you at work.
Yeah. Oh, I always wanted to do a threesome.
That's an added service.
Me and my sister want to.
Okay. You're not going to say no.
I mean, I'm doing a service. I'm not disrespectful.
You got a list of add-ons.
I'll tell you a crazy thing. I remember doing a show in Long Island and a bachelorette party. I'm in the little side bathroom changing. The bride comes in. Yo, what's up? Blah, blah. She grabbing, blah, blah, blah. She started giving me the blowy in the thing.
Okay, the blowy. This the bride.
The bride.
Okay, the bride.
She get married tomorrow.
Yes. Give you the blowy.
We get busted by the mama-in-law.
Okay.
Mama-in-law goes, you dirty bitch, blah, blah, blah. You in here sucking dick and didn't call me?
Yeah.
And I smashed the husband's mama, the groom's mama, and his wife before the thing. And then they invite me you should come.
To the wedding.
To the wedding. And I'm like, as a guy, you like.
It's so disrespectful.
Not only that, but like, where's your trust in anything that you think? You mean Mother Mary, the Virgin Mary, was smashing some other dude? It wasn't an immaculate. You know what I'm saying?
So did you go though?
What do you mean No, I didn't go to the wedding. I did not. I'm not disrespectful. I'm no savage. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey man, that reception, the food was probably bomb.
Yeah, probably prime rib. You know that prime rib, that cordon bleu. You never know.
Yes.
But I didn't go. But I'm just in retro. I go, wow. Your perspective of how we hold women in this regard, where we all lizard brain when underneath it all, which is funny because, and you start to see the connections. When I talked about how my even in the stripper thing, like how I was telling you before how I picked Mandingo and the African thing was because my sisters were all very different. And we saw the movie Shaka Zulu, and they were like,
Yeah, they all reacted the same way.
Because it was the lizard brain that it was sexuality on an animal level.
At the base level.
At the base level. Yeah. And anybody is susceptible that the higher thinking, the higher brain has to, because we're not monogamous in nature. Neither are we vegetarians. But you choose that.
Yeah.
And you choose it from the higher level brain. But it's just crazy to, that the empathy part of it was the part that they missed.
And so now, fast forward, Man School 202 is the platform.
Yeah.
I can call you and get a consultation anywhere in the world.
Go to DanteNero.com, click on consult. You can get me whatever. I mean, I've got Mongolia. I didn't even know Mongolia was still a country. And I do from Mongolia, Dubai. I mean, I've even had to consult dudes who are arranged marriages.
Yeah.
Who, they have interviews, there's no dating, and you have to kind of, how do you shoehorn it into that? You know what I mean? In the context of the way that they court or not court,
Yeah, Yeah, that's big, man. Hey, man. Hey, this is just it's part one actually, because apparently,
we
just the
didn't-
tip of the iceberg. I know
Just the tip.
Yeah, just the tip. Crazy. I know there's at least 7 professions that you did that you probably haven't even mentioned.
We could have went into we could have done 2 hours into one of them.
Yeah, yeah. That time when you were a podiatrist with Peace Corps over in Djibouti in East Africa. But yeah, man, Dante Nero, there it is.